Chris, look, it's delightful to have you here. And we're really interested to hear your reaction to the people who've attended your sessions, the people who've come up to you in the exhibition area, and just the number of people, the type of questions.
I think what I've been impressed with is people seem to be really focused on the research here. They seem to be, I get a lot of inquiries back home, and they're always interesting inquiries, but there seems to be a lot of work that needs to be done before I can actually get started. Whereas people who've been approaching me here are very focused. They've identified the problems that they need to address. They've been at it for some time. So, but I'm quite impressed at what they've been able to already do in some ways. I kind of expected coming to the other side of the world that all the answers for a lot of the problems would actually be in Scotland. And they've solved most of them here. I'm not quite sure why I'm here. But no, there are a few problems that clearly can only be solved back in Scotland with records that can only be accessed there and maybe they don't know about. It's been great to come out just to get a sense of how things are happening over here. I'm quite surprised. I'm not really sure what I was expecting to find out here actually, but it's been a brilliant event. It's been really well run. I think it's been a great credit to the team at Unlock the Past for the amount of effort they put into getting a really first-rate show on the go.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be more to come in the future. I think it's been great in terms of providing opportunities for people, not just for Scottish research, but all sorts of research. There are a lot of really great societies there, and a lot of great expertise. And you know, the more of these kind of shows you can get, I think the better for people researching their family history, really. What I thought I was going to find out here is probably a lot more emphasis on people being stuck on problems to do with their Australian research, but it's almost like you've got a two-tier research system here. It's like, you know,
yes.
The first part of your research is the Aussie bit, and then it's the transition across the ocean, and then it's the Scottish bit. And I'm surprised at how many people have actually been able to get that far back to the beginning of the Aussie bit, and they're really stuck now on the bit back home in Britain, you know. So that's been quite a surprise. It's almost in some ways felt like a British fair, you know, because it is that sort of concentrated on that kind of effort that's gone into that part of the research. You know?
I think the quality of our certificates here probably add to that.
Well, we're quite lucky in Scotland. Our records are much better than the rest of the UK,
yes.
and I think the Aussie records go one stage further than that. But I think what I've been particularly into, because I haven't obviously just been to this expo, I've been doing talks around the country, and I was in Perth a couple of days ago, and I went to the West Australian Genealogy Society Library,
yes.
and I was bowled over. You know, it's up there with some of the libraries we have back home in terms of the Scottish resources you had. I don't know if I was just expecting books of people in kilts and tartans and stuff. Maybe that's just too stereotyped. But you've got, you know, the records like the deeds and the Saisons and all the records that I need to rely on back home a lot of the time are actually out here. So it's a much better equipped setup than I was expecting, I think, for some of the problems that I thought people might have had.
Yeah.
So it's been a fascinating sort of experience, just getting to grips with, you know, the state of what genealogy in Australia, really, just not just in Scotland, but for the whole of the world. What's happening in genealogy across the world at the moment is the fact that the internet is democratising access to the records that you need to see, and you know, the more that these websites provide more information on them, the easier it becomes for people, even if they can't find the actual answers to their questions, just to help them to know where to look. So yeah, the website's a key part of that.
How about you tell us what you see as the benefit for Unlock the Past bringing you out here?
I think it's just, you know, I'm fairly well versed with a lot of the records in Scotland, so when people, they may have heard about particular types of records or ways of solving problems, for me to actually be there and with a laptop or with some knowledge to help explain in a more sort of direct way, I can actually sometimes physically demonstrate a way to do something on a website which they maybe hadn't considered before, or maybe tell them about records they've not heard about before, and then show them how to go about trying to find the answer to some of the problems that they may not have been able to solve in the past. So, you know, hopefully I've been able to help in some way.
I'm sure you have. The feedback so far has been great, and I know that you're then going on to Brisbane, aren't you, and meeting with some of the folks up there. So it's been all positive. Hope you've enjoyed your trip.
Oh, it's been a blast.
And come back again, I'm sure you'll be welcome.
Thank you very much.